Welcome to DSP Sports with Dom Stevens and David Beard.
We're in week 9 of the NFL. It never aired, and it never will, because it became irrelevant. But the last time that we talked...
Oh, shoot.
Shoot what?
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Well, no. I mean, the last time that we talked, you had your viewpoints on who was going to possibly win and who wouldn't win. You said at one time that you didn't think New Orleans had the gumption to repeat. You at one time said that you thought the Rams would at least win. I don't know what it was, if it was against the Raiders or maybe it wasn't Raiders. It was against the Detroit, maybe. I'm not sure. You said that the Rams would at least get their win from that one team. Well, the Rams lost to that one team, but I can't judge you, your viewpoint of the Rams from that, because something totally different that neither of us probably dreamed at the beginning of the season has happened with the Rams. But don't get into that right away. I want to know how, from the beginning of the season, your viewpoint has changed on the outcome of this NFL season.
Ooh, I think that there's 3 teams that have shocked the hell out of me, and they're all in the NFC. And the 3 teams that have really shocked me big time are the Dallas Cowboys, the Minnesota Vikings, and, not really New Orleans, because they turned it around, but the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings is unbelievable how far south they've gone so quick. I mean, Dallas won 1 game this year, Don, and they were supposed to win a division. The Super Bowl was supposed to be in their building, and they were supposed to hold the Lombardi Trophy in their building. I'm shocked. Another thing that has shocked me, and I know you're a fan of this team, and I hate them with a passion, is the Pats, because the Patriots in week 3 of the preseason is the big game where you play all your starters. And the Rams, with their starters against the Patriots starters, beat them pretty good. And I thought it was going to be a down year for the Patriots. And the Patriots have only lost 1 game, and that has also been a huge surprise to me as well, along with Pittsburgh only having 2 losses and winning 3 out of 4 games without Ben Roethlisberger. That's my biggest surprise so far, Doc.
All right. So what you're saying is you're shocked at the Cowboys and how terrible they've done. As a matter of fact, they've done so poorly that their owner was apologizing to their fans.
You should.
Now the Vikings, this has got to be messing with Brett Favre's head. This whole crap that's going on with him texting his penis.
No doubt.
This has got to be messing with him. Now, this wasn't a football game. Kevin Costner did a movie a while back where he played a pitcher. And it takes him through an entire game where he's thinking about things, trying to shake thoughts out of his head, trying to focus on pitching.
Perfect Game. I think it was called The Perfect Game, wasn't
Either
it?
The Perfect Game or it doesn't matter.
I saw it live. It's about
For the love of the game. No, maybe that wasn't it. The fact is that
I know
this has got to be what's happening to Brett Favre right now. He has got to be out there thinking with every snap, how big is this texting issue gonna get? Because it could cost him what's left of his career.
I think that he is shocked that this came back on him 2 years later, Don. And it's out of left field, and he has no idea what to even do with it.
And on top of that, you've got this story broke in the off season. You may not remember it, but I remember.
Did the video break in the off season?
What was that?
Did the video break in the off season?
I don't know if there was a video or not in the off season, but I know that there was a story out there about a girl working for the Jets organization that he had texted a picture of his penis to. And that was in the off season that story broke, and it went nowhere. And she was giggling and laughing about it. And now the regular season comes up and the story gets rehashed. And I've got to think that as wrong as it is for him to be texting pictures of his penis when he's married, if his wife isn't approving of these textings, that she's doing this to be opportunistic, and maybe she had a part in it. Who knows?
I think he should have dealt with this last summer. If you said this came out last summer,
yes,
he should have had his lawyers contact and do an O'Reilly and make it go away. What I'm talking about with the O'Reilly is when he made the intern thing go away. We've never heard from it again.
Yeah.
And that's what he should have done.
Well, I agree. And now you brought up New Orleans. They've turned that. You say that's not a team that I actively follow. So they've turned it around.
Somewhat. They really surprised me with their win over Pittsburgh last week.
Okay, and of course you mentioned the New England Patriots. I am a New England Patriots fan. I can't help it. That was like I was at old Foxborough Stadium. I've actually been to games there. I went to the same religious church thing as Tony Collins back in the day. I was even at his house for a Christmas party. So, all the things from being a fan at a young age, I can't help it, David. So please don't judge me too much. That I'm happy that the Patriots are doing good.
Massage my heart with a fork, Don. I hate them.
Now let's get to two other teams that I am fans of on different levels. The Cardinals without Kurt Warner.
Is anybody going to tell you Kurt Warner's not a Hall of Famer after this year, Don?
I don't think they should.
Can you believe one man has caused this horrible of a decline where you are now in third place in the division because your quarterback is it's that far off, whereas Kurt Warner was that good. It's shocking. It is shocking. I mean, they should actually be tied for last place because the Rams had them beat week 1, but didn't know at that time that they were going to be a good team, and they, in the last few minutes, reverted back to their old selves. But they're horrible on it. It's to the point now where I pick against them every week.
Now let's get to the team that you're probably dying to talk about.
Hold on, Don.
Okay.
The Cardinals. You're a big Cardinals fan, and I never quite got that. I thought maybe because of Warner or what have you. Well, is it because they used to be in St. Louis?
Well, now, I always call them the Chicago Cardinals just because I like to mess with people. But I had all that history. I had all that history with the Patriots going to all those games, and that's where my developmental years were with football, was with the Patriots. I became a Cardinals. I'm a Cardinals fan because they were in St. Louis, and I was a little fart when they were in St. Louis. And my first football game ever was at Busch Stadium. And so there's some romanticism involved in that. Now, I pretty much ignored them and focused on the Patriots from that point on. Kurt Warner brought me back to them. And now that I'm back to them, I'm hesitant to just drop it because Kurt Warner's gone. I actually want to see the team do well. But like any other good fair weather fan, if they keep screwing, I'll drop them and I'll get on the Rams bandwagon, and I won't feel ashamed for one moment. And when someone says, "Hey, you jumped on the Rams bandwagon because they're doing good," I'll look at them and I'll say, "Damn Skippy," and I'll stay on it until they start sucking, because that's the way I am with sports teams.
Tell you, Don, if you jump on that wagon, I'll welcome you, because let me tell you, last year I was on it by myself and I needed some company, so come on aboard, baby.
I love these people that criticize fans for being fair weather fans, and it's like, well, I've got news for you. Just like politicians or just like products or restaurants you go to, if they give you crappy service, you stop going. Now, some people, they eat at the Sizzler, and they've ate at the Sizzler their entire life, and they keep going with the hopes that the manager will get fired and their steak will be done right. And that's the kind of guy you are. You ate at the Sizzler, that is the Rams, for so long. You followed them here for some reason, and I mean, I don't know if you planned that or if it just worked out that way. But I'm just going to say that you planned it. You liked them so much that you moved to St. Louis when they moved to St. Louis, and I'll be danged, they finally got a manager that is willing to hire a cook that can cook a steak.
Well, hey, if you want to believe that, Don, and it makes you feel good that I moved here to follow them, then I won't tell you anymore.
Well, I actually know some of your back history. And backstory. And if you ever want to share it, you can, but just not today, because we're going to let everyone out there believe that you came to St. Louis to follow the Rams.
Hey, let me tell you, it definitely wasn't a deterrent. Definitely was not a deterrent.
Now, how are they going there? What are you happy about with the Rams this season, and what do you want to see done better?
Here it is, Don. If you would have told me week 1 the Rams are going to be 4-4 halfway through the season, I would have busted my nut all over the place. We've won 3 games in the last 2 years. We're 4-4 at the halfway point, and to be honest with you, Don, the Rams could very easily be 7-1. They've lost a total of 3 games by a total, I think it was 4 or 5 points. And 3 of those 4 games, they were winning in the fourth quarter. But they're a young team. They're still learning how to win. But the Detroit game, they just didn't show up to. So they're getting confidence. They have not won on the road. And if they think they're going to win a division, they have got to learn how to win on the road. And this first game back, next week after the bye, is in San Francisco. And that's going to be their test. If they can win in San Francisco, they'll have a shot at the division.
Well, there you go.
They're not going to win any playoff game, okay? But they'll have a shot at the division.
Well, now, see, that's the great thing about any sport is that a team that just you think cannot win a playoff game, as long as they manage to trip over themselves and get there is hope.
Especially if they win the division and they get that playoff game in the Dome. Because I've been to 3 games this year in the Dome, and I have never seen the Dome rock that hard since 01-02. Where if the Rams get ahead, it's hard for the other teams to come back because that place is wow. So I think they got a real shot. But here's the problem too, Don, is it's halfway through the season. They've only had like 3 road games and 5 home games. So the next 8 games are going to be 5 on the road and 3 at home. So they've got to win on the road. There's just no doubt about it.
So would you say that if the Rams won their division and managed to find themselves in round 1 of the playoffs, that that alone would be a success, but if they were actually to win their first round of the playoffs, would that be a wet dream come true for the Rams fans?
Yes, and here's why. If they pulled that off, that is a wet dream. And not only is that a wet dream, that will send shockwaves through the NFL because that means Sam Bradford is Peyton Manning. And he's going to be in the playoffs year after year after year fighting for championships, which means we got the next Peyton Manning. And that's pretty cool.
This has been DSP Sports with Don Stevens and David Beard.